Is money the root of all evil? Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of John of New here on YouTube. I'll be mixing up the coffee times and the John of New videos for a while. I had a wonderful YouTuber tell me the other day, he says, I really love your stuff, but you're kind of misbranded and you're kind of pushed in two directions. By saying coffee time, you're actually telling people that you're a coffee channel as opposed to a spirituality channel. So I may pull back a little bit of the promotions of coffee time. I'll still be drinking my coffee, but making it more of a John of New channel sort of situation, or spiritual ponders or something like that. I don't know. I'll figure out something, but maybe you guys give me suggestions what we can call the new segment where I'm just answering questions and talking about topics. And if there's another title that's more fitting with spiritual channels, it's always going to be called the John of New channel, but is there a subtitle like Coffee Time or something like that that is more in alignment with the spirituality? I don't know. Let me know what you'll think about that. But let's talk about this idea of money being the root of all evil. That's a mistranslation. It's not a mistranslation. It's a misquote. In the Bible today, it does not say the money is the root of all evil. There's no place in the Bible that says that. It says money is the root of many evils. It says the love of money is the root of many evils. The love of money is the root of many evils. It does not in any way, shape, or form say money is bad. One of the things I ran into even 20 years ago is this weird relationship people have with money and spirituality. They think you can't be spiritual if you have money, and which means that everybody should be poor, everyone should be suffering. I grew up in a beautiful beach town, and was a Catholic church, and the priest was, they'd always talk about the priest, suffering poverty, right? He had a paycheck. He got a good paycheck. He lived in a mansion on the beach. His meals were pretty much covered. And every week, people would invite him to dinner, and people treated him well and took care of him. But his paycheck was more than my mom ever made, right? So they're not suffering. The priests are not suffering. I mean, literally, the priests in our town lived in a mansion that he could walk across the street and be on the beach. It wasn't that property. If I was to guess right now, is probably a $6 million property in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. And the church, they're not suffering, right? But the love of money is the root of many evils. It's the people who forego loving and caring and doing loving things for money. People who will knock people down for the sake of money. People who will make their employees work ridiculously long hours for low pay just to make sure their bottom line was higher. That love of money is the root of many evils. If people love money, it's to do things that are not necessarily loving. And I often talk about Jeshua and how he survived. He had wealthy benefactors who let him stay at their house. Lazarus had a tomb complex around his house, which meant he was a wealthy landowner. He had money, right? And at one point, they even say to him, he says, can I follow you? And he's like, that's where the line comes, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than the wealthy man to get into heaven. Because the wealthy man that he's talking about is not because he's wealthy, but because he's focused on wealth. He's focused on making more money and making himself more prosperous rather than loving. The interesting thing is when you do what you love, the money comes. When you do what you love, your sustenance comes. The universe repays you for the things that you love. And you might end up becoming a multimillionaire, but what are you doing with the money? Are you making the world a better place with the money? Are you helping others with the money? I often say that if I ever won the lottery or something like that, my family and friends and all would get equal shares. It would all come down to like spreading that money out, and then that would be helping my close family, right? I would do charitable works. I would do all kinds of things, right? I would definitely make choices that were from a loving nature. And when you do that kind of work, and you have that kind of, then money is not evil, right? Because you're actually helping people. But the idea that money is evil, I remember when the first time I sold a meditation recording, which you can get them on my channel if you want. The first time I sold one, I had a raft of people tell me that I was wrong, that I was making money. I can't tell you how many people have told me that it's wrong that I do private sessions as opposed to giving all my time away for free. I mean, it's amazing to me that people think that because I talk about spiritual topics, that I shouldn't be allowed to live in this world comfortably. I find that just utterly unloving. I find that completely unspiritual that they believe that, because spirituality is about love and compassion. And if you like what's being said, then you shouldn't be focused on the money, right? And the hatred of someone who makes money is based in the fact that you're judging them because you believe they're talking about loving money. But if you're talking spirituality, one of the biggest ones I get all the time is, did Joshua charge for his teachings? And I find that really interesting because, yeah, he did. How did he charge? He charged by being put up in wealthy people's houses, by being clothed and fed. He chose that by actually sending John and James into towns to find lodging and find benefactors who would take care of them and put them up in their homes. So it wasn't that there wasn't money or wealth in some variety being exchanged. Jeshua was bought off of the cross by Joseph of Arimathea. He paid to get him off the cross. He was laying in the wealthy man's tomb. Matthew, the tax collector, was a wealthy man. Whatever you think about Paul was a landowner, a big landowner, and had a lot of money. And what's really interesting is that when you dive into the whole history of money and its relationship with spirituality, most of the misconceptions come from the fact that they're thinking about money as we think of money today, which is, a dollar bill. It wasn't the way it worked back then. A lot of the currencies were in sustenance, survival stuff, materials that you need: food, water, clothing, shelter. Those were all given to Jeshua. Those were all supplied to him. His needs were met, right? In this world, I depend on you. I depend on donations. I depend on private readings. By coming back to do spiritual work, it depends upon my sustenance. Depends upon you. Money is not evil in any way, shape, or form, And your goal really is that you do the loving things, right? I guarantee you, for me personally, if I was into the love of money, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I made a lot more money as a corporate speaker, and I was a lot better off financially as a corporate speaker. I do this for the love of it. So the question is, what are you doing for the love of it? And are you doing it for the money, right? Many people are often worried about they want to do spiritual work, but they don't want to give up their money that they're making from their jobs that they have. And I'm like, don't worry about the money. Worry about doing what you love. And Understand, you don't have to drop one and go right to the other. You can transition to something else, something different. The money will be there. Do what you love and the money will come. But it's a matter of you stepping into the idea of not thinking that money is evil, not thinking that people who make money doing spiritual things are evil. I remember when I started my membership group, which is one of the greatest things for me. I have amazing people who come on. If you ever join the membership group, there's amazing people. We get on there. Usually the numbers in our group meetings are between 5 and 10 who show up, and we talk face to face, and we share our beliefs from different perspectives, and it's a wonderful experience, right? Those people in that group, they tell me that they're having a great time, and that it really is valuable to them. They find value every time they come. We do it twice a week, and because of them, I have some more money to keep the roof over my head. But when I started that membership group, I had a lady get very angry at me. This is wrong. You should be giving all this information away for free. Well, the interesting thing is I am giving all the information away for free. All the information that I have is in the 800 videos that are on my channel. Just go through the videos. It's all there. The thing is that Jeshua's teachings are so simple that I could do them very easily in one video, but no one would get it in one video. No one would understand it in one video because it's so simple. We have a hard time understanding it. So far, I've got over 800 videos on the channel to just teach the lessons, right? And it's all free. It's on YouTube. You don't have to donate. There's a thing on there that says, thanks for your super thanks and donations. They help keep a roof over my head. You don't have to. No one's saying you have to. I'm not asking you to. I'm just telling you thank you to the ones who do, right? It's not about the money. The thing is, if you go through life angry about money, if you go through life judging people about money, then you're the one with the obsession about money. You're the one with the issue and the problem with money. And I'll bet you almost anything that the people who are most vehement about it have a very lacking life. Because I find that people with money are like, okay, here's the money. I don't care. It's only the people who are lacking who get upset about it. And the people who are lacking are the ones who need to let go of the judgment of money the most. Because it's the judgment of money and the belief that they're lacking that keeps bringing it into their experience. And money is not evil. Release the idea that money is evil. And it's not the root of evils. The love of money, the putting money above people and money above love is the root of many evils. The other concept in this is the root of all evil. Evil and good are not polar opposites. It's not the way it works. God is love, and fear is the illusion of us not having that love. The concept of the love of money is the desire to have power, and that power is a representation of love in some form. People have mistaken power for love, and so they have a love of money so they can have more power. That's all that really is. But we have to step into the role of, okay, if I want to create a life that I love, I have to do things that I love and then figure out how to monetize them so we have the money, right? And it's not hard. It's a matter of just being true to yourself, being your authentic self, and recognizing that you're allowed to be your authentic self, and that if people find value in it, it's okay to receive value from it. Because the idea of not receiving value from it is devaluing your own work, your own creation. I know that what I'm bringing is helping people. I know that because I get emails from people every day telling me it does, comments on the comment board telling me it does. But the idea of this is not about, the value they're getting from what's being delivered. The idea, The concept of this entire video I'm talking about is about the idea of the struggle with money, thinking it to be evil or wrong, or when you think that way, you're just always going to suffer and struggle for money. And you can let that go today. It's just a matter of choice. Just a matter of choice. Money comes to me easily and frequently. I love everyone, right? That's the way you think when you want to create a loving life and an easy life. Because in this world, money is something that is needed. Now, does that money come from, trading hours for work, trading hours for money? Or does it come from bringing great value and getting value in return? Does it come from subjugating others so that you can make more money? And it really comes down to you deciding what your relationship to money is. And instead of loving the money, love what you can do with the money. Love how you can create with that money. Love the idea of money being something that is helping you do good things in the world. And when you start to love what you do and love the money that's coming in to help you do it, then you'll start to find the idea that money is coming in, and I love the fact that money is coming in so it can go back out, letting it flow. The love of money as a hoarder is what's creating the issues. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.